Hey guys, welcome to this video. In this one, I'm going to talk about the risk on market overall. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, at this current point, what you have is traders just flooding money into risk on assets, and surprisingly, also flooding money into gold, which traditionally has been seen as a safe haven asset. You've got different analysts saying that's because of global tensions and things like that. So we've got lots to cover and lots to talk about. Now, the reason why I picked Bitcoin to start with is obviously because of this extreme move. You've gone from 25,000 in September all the way up to 68,000. So considerable move, well over double. And even if you look at your last dip around January, around 38,000, you're coming up almost doubling that as well. So a significant rise in the value of price over time. And therefore, it's decision time. It's what do I do with this? Now, similarly with Ethereum, you've got the same thing. You've got the same thing with the SPX. And like I said, you've got the same thing with gold over there. But at this point, what you can see, and again, zooming out, is an attack. I believe gold has now hit an all-time high, depending on your broker and the price you've got, I should think. And Bitcoin very much also there. Now, you've got to remember, this is the point where you've got the highest ever value recorded. So it's factual to say, based on price history, this is the most expensive price it's ever been. And therefore, based on that same price, it's the best place to liquidate holdings. And that's what you'll get a lot of the larger money do. I'm not surprised it had a little bit of a pullback on lower time frames. And it probably would have come as investors said, okay, that's enough. And we would like to move it lower. Now, you've actually hardly got any price rejection to the downside, so it doesn't seem particularly like the momentum is out there. Now, I would say if you're someone who's looking to short and you believe in the short side market, I would just be very careful. I would do it very lightly. I mean, you had that high there, and then you went up 65 to 68, not an awfully long way. I wouldn't be entirely shocked if you see an all-time high on Bitcoin and then perhaps the same thing. And it's known as a market maker stop. A market maker stop is where markets come just above the previous high or previous low that you've just seen. And they do that because the larger money in the market, the whales or institutional investors, pull their positions out, and it causes a swing in the market. It's what you saw previously. So you've got to remember, you've already seen that happen twice. Now, I'm not saying specifically Bitcoin can't go higher, and I'm sure there's many people in the comments who will say, oh, well, it's going to go high because of this, that, and the other. The fact remains that you don't know if it's going to go high. Nobody really knows if that's going to happen. There's nobody with a crystal ball. But what you can know is simply based on what you've seen already and what the price is telling you. The price is telling you you're hitting the highest ever point you've had. So Bitcoin is the most expensive, almost, it's ever been. Therefore, your positions, if you had it long, are the most profitable they've ever been as well. So you've got the chance there to lock in those gains. If you start thinking about, well, it could go higher, that is starting to get into the realms of fiction and gambling, because you don't know whether that's going to happen for sure. What you do know is how much you can lock in today. Okay? Now, remember as well, if you do lock in gains and then the price falls back, you've always got the chance to rebuy. It's not like this is the last time Bitcoin is ever going to rise. It's probably unlikely you're not going to have another bounce in the future. So I would say, there's nothing wrong with locking in gains and looking for those further longs in future if you're a believer in crypto and you wanted to buy it. But certainly, if you don't take the gains now, you are running the risk of potentially losing all those profits you had. If it does fall now. And like I said, you can already see there is early price rejection. Doesn't mean specifically it's going to fall today or in a minute, but it just means, perhaps people are taking their money off. Just look at your stock oscillator. Okay. Up here is just question marks. You don't know. Nobody knows. Are you going to get up there? But what you do know is now you have absolute value, and you've got money to be taken. So I would at least consider locking in gains, perhaps having a trailing stop or something behind your entry on the daily, maybe under here. okay, because that's where you saw your previous price rejection. You've got to remember you're absolutely steaming far off your moving averages on all time frames, especially your monthly. Okay, and when you get these big reversions away from averages, it gets dangerous. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope that helps. Don't forget, I teach a live trading room every day on charts. We just did another analysis on all risk on assets. Thanks for watching. Hope that helps. Trade light, trade safe, and I'll see you in the next video. See you there.